Hello, my name is Cody Bowerman, and I've been working with Mr. Hubble over the past few years. We've been working on our project, which is about our universe and it's about our galaxy. When I initially started, um, we only were just focusing on our galaxy, which is the Milky Way. But as we were starting to dig deeper, we discovered that there's actually more galaxies out there than just our own. Um, we have also discovered in his recent report that he has published that that our universe isn't just a stationary object, that it's actually moving and that it's actually expanding. So these galaxies that we have discovered, they're actually getting farther and farther away from us. Um, and so I've been helping him with some of the research in that area. So initially, we weren't actually trying to find new galaxies. Whenever we first began our research, we were trying to see, we were just looking into the nebula. We were looking into specifically the Andromeda Nebula. That is when Mr. Hubble began discovering that some of the stars were different brightnesses. Um, and so as we began to dig through and do more research, we discovered that that these weren't stars, that those were actually galaxies within the nebula. So we did our research at Mount Wilson Observatory in California. It is the largest observatory as of right now, so it was really neat to get to use that. World War One ended in 1918, and before that, Mr. Hubble was unable to do as much research as he was wanting to. So the war was really a hindrance to him as far as his research goes. Now, after World War II happened, he was able to go on and obviously do the research and discoveries that he has published now. But also during this time, we have had a great economic boom after the war. We have had new movies, there's been new music, new fashion styles. The automobile industry has really picked up now, so cars are becoming more accessible for people. So that has kind of been what has been happening during this time frame. So as the project began progressing along, me and Mr. Hubble eventually began working with Mr. Vesto and Mr. Milton, and we all began working on combining the redshift values that we were getting and the actual distance between the galaxy. So my role in this project was to assist Mr. Hubble and Mr. Vesto and Milton in gathering redshift values and combining them with the distances of the galaxies. So we discovered that there was a correlation between the wavelengths of the redshift value and how far away the galaxy was. So the increased redshift value meant that the galaxy was farther away. So Mr. Hubble found a linear relationship between these two. And so that was, I had a part working with them. So we believe this is going to have a huge impact on the scientific community because this is completely reshaping how we think about our universe. As before, we were thinking that the universe was just this one galaxy, that we were just sitting in this one galaxy. But now we're realizing that there are multiple galaxies, and that not only are there multiple galaxies, but they are also moving and expanding outward. So there is much more to be learned from this. So it's not too often that you get to stump one of the greatest minds in history. So after Mr. Hubble published his report, Einstein read it and he was astonished at what he read. And so, because he had originally thought that the universe was stationary. And so now after reading our report and going through it, he began to realize that he had made a mistake and that he was wrong. And so he actually said it was one of the greatest blunders of his life, which is I mean, it's just incredible to think that even Einstein isn't perfect.